Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, please subscribe, like, comment down below, and of course if you guys do subscribe, click the notification bell to my TikTok channel. Thank you guys for joining. I will also, if you guys are new to this channel, I'm filming a YouTube channel as well as doing my TikTok live. Same old, if you guys have been on here more than once, you guys know how it works. So yeah, today's case is going to be extremely hard, and it's actually kind of something that hits a little closer to my heart, due to the fact that I've actually been diagnosed with what this young girl had been diagnosed with as well. And, I don't know, like, this case made me so mad, and so we are going to talk about the murder of Candace Newmaker. Like I said, this case hits very close to my heart and home for me, due to the fact that this young girl was murdered due to her diagnosis of reactive attachment disorder. So I'm actually going to give you guys the definition of what this is. So, reactive attachment disorder is a failure to show expected emotions towards your caretaker or parent. Due to the trauma that I went through as a child, I ended up not liking my mom, my dad, my sister, and it actually got to the point where a lot of people thought I were going to actually kill my sister. Everybody was trying to diagnose me as a sociopath, because I had reactive attachment disorder and I didn't know how to have a close connection with people that I was around. And so that kind of gives you guys the tiles and shit that. Okay, so we're gonna be trying a new thing as well. I am working on my language. And, I have a horrible mouth. And due to the fact that I am trying to learn how to watch my mouth because I'm on YouTube, it's going to be extremely difficult. So, TikTok, I challenge you guys to yell at me every time you hear a cuss word, because I can't edit it out of my videos because I just don't know how to do it. I don't have the software to do it. And so, I need you guys' help to help me not cuss. So that's gonna be fun. Okay. Get a sip of my coffee. Alright, let's start with the case. So we're going to start with a little background on Candace. So Candace was born in, Lincoln? Nope, that's not right. You know, you would think that the amount of times that I have done videos that I would probably know how to do this correctly. But no, I'm just the hot mess that everybody has come to love. Either that or hate, because I know I irritate a lot of people with this. So hold on. Lincolnton. I did not say that right. It's alright, y'all know me at this point. Lincolnton, North Carolina. To Angela and Ted Elmore. Troubled child. She was a troubled child, and she was born into poverty and actually spent most of her childhood in foster homes. So when she was 6 years old, she was adopted by Newmaker. And Jean was a pediatric nurse. She comes from a very well-off family, and according to her adoptive mother, so Jean, Candace was a child who was uncontrollable. She was angry all the time. And she attempted to set the house on fire. And so due to the fact that Candace was so out of control, she spent years on medication, seeing psychologists, and Newmaker just said that counseling appointments. They never did anything other than Candace getting mad. And so, I should just be looking at my TikTok camera, not my normal camera. I don't know why I do that. And so, Jean was very, just didn't know what to do. So she went and got her into a rebirthing clinic. So we're going to kind of talk a little bit about the rebirthing treatment. So I'm going to look it up because for some reason I don't know why I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. I didn't put it in my document. And I did a lot of research on rebirthing counseling just because of what I'm obviously the case. So we're going to give the actual definition of it. Rebirthing therapy is an alternative therapy technique used to treat reactive attachment disorder. This therapy uses a specific kind of breathing meant to help you release emotions. So, okay, let's kind of backtrack a little bit. At a young age, Candace, her younger brother Michelle, and her sister Chelsea was removed from her parents' home due to neglect and separated by social services. When she was 5, her parents' parental rights were terminated, and 2 years later she was adopted. Within months of the adoption, Janine began taking Candace to psychiatrics, which we've already kind of talked about. And just Candace's behavior got worse. Like I said, she tried burning their house down. She was playing with matches. She was trying to kill her goldfish. I mean, she did kill her goldfish. And so she really didn't know what to do. And I'm sorry, as a pediatric nurse, I feel like you should kind of know what to do, but that's just my opinion. Thank you for the follow, by the way. So, Candace and Janine traveled to Evergreen, Colorado in April 2000 for a, get this guys, $7,000 2-week intensive session. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely was not born rich. But my mom, she put in a lot of money for me for counseling and therapy and all of that jazz. Okay? But we never had that amount of money to spend. And that just kind of shows how much Jane was trying to help her daughter. But I feel like she could have definitely done it differently than what she did. And reading this just breaks my heart all over again. So she sent her. Okay, so she went with her to this treatment to a guy named Colin Watkins. Hold on. Okay, I'm sorry, YouTube. I just got one of the most disturbing comments I've ever gotten on live. Okay. So, this guy had no license. And so for the fact that she spent $7,000 is just absolutely ridiculous. And this was upon referral from William Gobble, who was a licensed psychologist in North Carolina. Candace died during the second week of the intensive session with Watkins, during what was called a rebirthing session. So, participating in this session was her therapist, the guy that she, her mom paid for $7,000 fucking dollars. freaking dollars. Watkins and Julie Ponder, also without a license, along with Candace, they're I can't talk today. Therapeutic foster parents, St. Clair, Jack McDaniel, and of course, Ginny Newmaker. In the procedure, the child was wrapped in a sheet and covered in pillows to recreate emerging from the womb. Watkins, who said she has successfully performed the therapy on several other patients, says that Candace could have easily escaped the pillows. As there was no weight on her, she could sit up. Watkins told ABC 2020 in an interview airing tonight she could stand up. So, again, the interview is not airing tonight. This is all, very much old news. The therapy, according to its proponents, treats a condition called attachment disorder, which is a failure to trust and bond with parents or caregivers. Oh my gosh, I can't even lean forward. Okay. Candace was wrapped in a flannel sheet and covered with pillows to stimulate a womb or a birth canal, and was told to fight her way out, with the apparent expectation that the experience would help her attach to her adoptive mother. 4 of the adults, weighing a combined total of 673 pounds, used their hands and feet to push on Candace's head and chest, a 7-pound body. So, kind of break that down for you guys. Candace is 70 pounds at this point. 4 adults were on top of her, weighing 673 pounds, pushing on her head, her chest, and her feet. Everywhere that they could actually do, they did. Now, Candace stated 11 times during the session that she was dying. She screamed for help. She pleaded and complained. And unable to escape from the sheet, you guys, this is so exciting. Ponder responded, so one of the therapists said, "Go ahead. Die right now. For real. For real." 20 minutes into the session, Candace had vomited and excreted, so she pooped herself inside of the sheet, but she was still kept restrained. And so, as somebody who worked with elderly patients, normally when you are going to die, and even sometimes after you die, you do empty everything. There have been times where people will shit themselves, or poop or release their bowels. They will end up throwing up on themselves. And especially in a suffocation situation, that is bound to happen more than a lot of people think. And you guys, she is stuck in a sheet with pillows and 673 pounds on top of her, unable to move because they're not listening to her. And at this point, I read the transcript of this because this was all recorded. This was all written down. This was all typed up. You guys, that is what is even more messed up about this. It didn't stop till they pulled her out and they realized that she was dead. So, this therapy session was literally recorded as she is dying. And she's saying, "I'm going to die. Get me out of here." They didn't give a fuck. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't be cussing. But at the same time, this case just irritates me. And it makes me so angry. I can't even, imagine being somebody in that situation and allowing this to happen. Okay. So, back to what I was talking about. So, the therapist told her to die. 20 minutes into the session, she had already vomited and she excreted herself inside of the sheets. And she was still kept restrained. 40 minutes. So at this point, she had no oxygen. She literally had no movement. She had no air. She could not do anything for 40 minutes. And at this time, she was still struggling. And so her therapist, the guy who her mother paid $7,000 to, asked her if she wanted to be reborn. And she faintly responded, no. And that was actually her last word. No. No, she did not want to sit there and try getting out of this because she physically couldn't. The therapist, you guys, the therapist said this. Quitter, 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 quitter. All you do is quit. She's a quitter. You guys. So all of these people were interviewed, obviously, because this was a big deal. This therapy session was also, like, really hyped up at this point in the 2000s. A lot of people were actually doing this. Obviously, the counselor who did this had simply said, I've done this to a bunch of other people, and it all was successful, right? So at this point, like, it's a hype. Like, people who had this issue were doing this because they wanted their kids to love them, right? So everybody was, like, sitting here, like, thinking, like, nothing's gonna happen. It hasn't happened yet. It will not happen with this one because we've done it successfully so many different times. So then, Janine Newmaker, literally in her interview, after seeing her adoptive daughter die, flat out said, I felt rejected by Candace's inability to be reborn. This woman paid $7,000 to an unlicensed therapist, put her faith in this person, and flat out said, do what you need to do. I want this reborn. I want this reborn therapy to work. I want my daughter to love me. Even though she wasn't her daughter and she had been through trauma. I can't even wrap my brain around that. That's what you're going to say as your kid is literally sitting there inside a bunch of sheets covered by 673 pounds. That is, it's more than, like, dude, guys, and this poor little girl was 70 pounds. 70 pounds, and she had 673 freaking people pounds on her. You guys, and literally, the first thing she can think of is, I felt rejected because she couldn't complete the reborn therapy. Bro, she literally said over 11 times that she was going to die. Ugh, irritates me. So, she was actually asked, Janine Newmaker was asked to leave by the therapist, to leave the room, in order for Candace to not pick up on Janine's sorrow. Soon after, my kids requested the same of McDaniel and Britta Sinclair, leaving only herself and Ponder in the room with Candace. And after talking for 5 minutes, and you guys, they weren't talking about the fucking therapy. I'm sorry, I know I asked you guys to help me not cuss, and I know that I shouldn't be cussing, but this case, I'm gonna be cussing up this case. This case makes me so mad on so many levels, right? Okay, they were literally sitting there while this young girl is dying. They were talking about their dream home and their dream life. So, while this girl threw up on herself, released her bowels, literally said 11 times in 20 minutes that I'm dying. I'm going to die. Please give me air. I'm going to die. Let's talk about our dream home. let's talk about our dream job. Let's talk about our dream life while this girl is dying. So then they actually unwrapped her. And they mocked her. They mocked a little girl by saying, "Oh, there she is. She's sleeping in her vomit." What? Like, I'm not smiling because this is funny. I literally am smiling because I'm so angry. Like, that literally makes me want to kill so many people. Like, that irritates the crap out of me. The fact that they sat there talking about their dream home for 5 minutes, unwrapped this little girl, and mocked her, saying, "Oh, there she is. She's sleeping in her vomit." So, Watkins, it didn't ever really said, like, why he left the room, but he left the room at some point. And oh no. Okay, I'm sorry, I kind of, like, jumped ahead. So, actually, the person who noticed it was the mother, Janine. She noticed that, she was different color, and rushed into the room. So like I said, this is recorded. So there's monitors, and she's in another room watching this as they unwrap this girl. And she noticed it, rushed into the room, and remarked on Candace's color because her fingertips were black, her toes were black, her face was blue, and her lips were purple. And then she began CPR. While Watkins, the freaking non-licensed therapist, called 911. When paramedics arrived 10 minutes later, McDaniel told them that Candace had been left alone for 5 minutes during a rebreathing session and was not breathing. Which, okay, shout out to the paramedics. The paramedics said that Candace had been unconscious and possibly not breathing for a very long time. Paramedics were able to restore the girl's pulse, which, good for them. Good, hallelujah. They restored this girl's pulse, who had probably been dead for 20 minutes at this point. And she was flown by a helicopter to a hospital in Denver, and she was declared brain dead the next day. As a consequence of not being able to breathe. She literally died of asphyxiation and was considered brain dead the next day. You guys, that's, like, upsetting. And so this video is going to be very short. And I'm going to kind of explain why, because I know a lot of people will be upset. My normal videos are usually an hour and a half long. Yesterday I injured myself being stupid. I was listening to the song "So What" by Pink, and I started trying, because at this point we had been in the car for a while. We were filing for taxes, and then we, like, drove back. We had to drive a half hour from where we lived to the place that we file our taxes with. We forgot something, so we had to drive all the way back to our house to get what we needed, and then drive all the way back. So it was a good 2-hour drive, and my daughter was not happy. And so I was, like, headbanging, trying to get her to laugh. And I ended up giving myself whiplash, like a stupid person. And so I'm actually, like, in a lot of physical pain. I can't really move my head. And on top of on top of that, I am just not doing okay mentally. I've kind of started to notice that, like, I definitely recentered my life around, true crime prior to me starting this. And, I literally did not think that I would be drained as much as I am doing true crime. because that was my entire life. I mean, I watched Dateline as much as I possibly can. I literally, my subscriptions, there's one person on there that probably one person other than singers that doesn't do true crime. And so I watch so much true crime. I literally, that's my entire center of life. And so me starting this, I was like, oh, I'm going to be doing something that I enjoy watching. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to have so much fun, and it's not going to affect me. And I went into this very naive. And now I'm starting to realize I need to find something that's not true crime to kind of just let my brain react and relax and just kind of just take a step back from true crime. But the thing is, I am not a very smart human being. I don't have a lot of hobbies due to the fact that I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't like leaving my home for other reasons. That's not my fault, but we're not going to get into it because I actually can't get into it. I'm not going to talk about it. But there's just a lot of situations that have caused my mental health to kind of deteriorate, and so I'm trying to kind of just take some time for myself. So I will not be posting 3 days a week anymore. I think I'm going to be posting 2 times a week, and it will probably be Tuesdays and Saturdays, so that I have a bunch of time in between to do research, and I can kind of just enjoy my life. So hopefully that works, and if not, I'll take a step back again and I'll do 1 video a week. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, the entire Fatal session, as well as 10 hours of other sessions from the preceding days, had been videotaped. And as a matter of fact, with all of Watkins' treatments, the unlicensed therapist, all of the videos that he had done were shown at the trial of these therapists. A year later, Watkins and Bonner were tried and convicted of a reckless child abuse, resulting in death and receiving a 16-year prison sentence, which is not enough. So, both of these counselors and therapists who had not had a license to do what they did, who had put this child through 40 minutes of death, literal death. I mean, this poor girl was literally saying from 20-minute mark to the end, I'm dying, I'm going to die, please give me oxygen, and they only got 16 years. I just don't see the justice. I don't see justice for this. But one of the other 2 people who were there, Berta St. Clair and Jack McDaniels, the therapeutic foster parents, pleaded guilty to criminal negligence of child abuse and were given only 10 years of probation and 1,000 hours of community service in a plea bargain. The adoptive mother, so the mom who did this, who actually sought this out, pleaded guilty to neglect and abuse charges and was given a 4-year suspended sentence, after which the charges were expunged from her record. There's no justice. And this is also why my mental health is deteriorating, because the amount of times I've read that there's no justice for a case, my brain is like, well, I'll give him justice and I legally can't kill somebody, or I would end up on somebody else's freaking true crime video. And not only that, I'm a mom, and I really don't like taking people's lives. Not that I've done it, but that's not the point. So the story of Candace's death was actually national. It went viral. Reports about her death and the trial appeared in newspapers, articles, magazines, all across, just everywhere, across the world. The case was actually the motivation behind Candace's lot. So, as much as I believe that there's no justice for the people who caused her death, there's still people who have been saved due to this. But it is actually banned in Colorado to do a rebirthing counseling therapy session and I believe it's banned in all of 50 states in America. I don't know about other places. I looked it up in my state, and it's not a thing here, which thank God, because I would be losing my shit. But no. So that's the end of the video. Again, if you are new here on my YouTube channel, subscribe, click the notification bell. It helps me out. Like, comment down below. We'll do our minute of silence for the the victims. Gosh, I'm so sorry, you guys. I have no idea what my problem is today. I'm like tired. Of course, when I'm tired, my speech impediment just works even less. Okay, let's go. 1 minute of silence for the victims starting now. Alright, guys. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for putting up with my rants and cussing, even though I wasn't supposed to be cussing. Yeah. Oh, so I know I don't normally talk about this type of stuff on here. But I'm going to, because it hits kind of, I need to talk about it. I have a cousin, who her entire life she has autism. Obviously, I mean, if you guys know anything about autism, you understand that that's kind of like a whole life situation. She was very much neglected by the medical community in our town. In a month, she gained 27 pounds. And, anybody who has a brain understands that that is not normal. But the doctors kind of just pushed it off, saying it's her eating habits, get her exercise, do what you need to do, and she'll lose the weight. Come to find out, she actually had a tumor. And she is, now she's in the hospital. She's working on, I believe, it's either her second round of chemo or her third round of chemo right now. And so I posted on my TikTok bio, I have her GoFundMe page on there. So if you guys on TikTok have a heart, or not even just a heart, but if you guys want to and if you guys are able to, please donate to her GoFundMe page. My aunt and my uncle work their ass off for their kids, and it's just been a mess. I mean, my uncle's the only one working. My aunt is a stay-at-home mom with 3 other kids, not counting my cousin. We have my cousin Kaylee, she is 18, and then I have a cousin, all of their ages range within 18 to 7. So it's there's kids, and they're just not doing really well right now for obvious reasons. So if you guys are able to donate a little bit of money towards her GoFundMe, that would be very much appreciated. To my YouTube channel, I will post the GoFundMe link to my description down below. So if you guys are able to give a little bit of money towards it, that would be awesome. And if you guys aren't, that is perfectly okay. I'm just putting this out there, and I'll probably put this out there in the next couple videos, if not all of them, until she's better. So yeah, thank you guys for kind of just listening to that last little bit. And thank you guys for putting up with my, exhaustion today. So, thank you guys again. Subscribe, like, and comment. And I will be ending that.